Hello there, my music lovers. I'm Josh from Audiophile Heaven, and today we are having a look at something for which you need to widen your ears and your screens because this is such a wide looking thing. This is the Cocktail Audio N25. This is a network player streamer DAC. It has so many functions that we'll have a really fun time going through all of them in today's full video review of the Cocktail Audio N25. I wanted to give you a close shot to what the back of the unit looks like because this video is going to be really fun. So what is this thing and why is it so wide? This is the Cocktail Audio N25. I like pronouncing that. It is priced at 1,100 euros. It is one of the more expensive network players, but compared, for example, to the Mono Ultra Mark II from Magna Hi-Fi, this one is much more complex, sounds much better, and has much more function to it. So let's first explain some things. This is a streamer. It is supposed to take in digital signal, but compared to most streamers in today's market, the company Cocktail Audio decided to not limit the usage of its streamer in any single way. They decided to make it the absolute ultimate network player. They actually entitled this like this, like they call it the ultimate network streamer, and guess what? They actually made it. Those crazy guys did it. First we have the power switch, very clicky. We have a fuse, we have the power input. We have a signal ground. I don't really know why, I don't need to use it. And then the fun starts. As digital inputs, we have coaxial, we have optical, we have Bluetooth antenna, we have HDMI ARC input, we have a DAB/FM antenna, like all of those in a single unit. Then we have the digital outputs, which are coaxial and Toslink. We have the analog output. I love this so much. We have analog output. It has a DAC inside, so I can judge its sound so much clearer and how it sounds like. We have an USB audio input, which means that you can connect it to a computer, which is a function that is lacking from most streamers, and I have no idea why. Because I love using my computer, and if this can improve the sound on my computer where I use my music, my videos, my games, oh yeah, this is how I start having fun. This is what I wanted from a streamer, to be honest. I dislike using Volumino as an app and as an interface. I just wanted something that can improve things, a digital to digital converter, but which is not a hassle to use. And this is not a hassle to use. We have an Ethernet input because of course it is compatible with Tidal, with Spotify, with every single streaming app you can think of. We have an HDMI output for the audio and GUI. For example, if you want to pass through the signal through a television so that you have something that can show its GUI, because it has a very nice display here and it has a ton of options. We also have a USB output, for example, to connect a USB DAC to it, because most USB DACs will recognize it as a source. And we have the USB host and the USB host, which is basically made for you to input an external hard disk to it. Because it is priced at such a close pricing to the Mono Ultra Mark II, which I also reviewed and which I said that does improve sound and which I said that sounds pretty good, I'll be drawing a ton of comparisons between them because this one beats it so badly that it is funny. Yeah, this is such a wide looking unit. I mean, I don't have any idea how to actually hold it so that you can see it. You will have some B-rolls, don't worry, there are B-rolls in the video. This boy requires and deserves some beautiful imagery, but I wanted to like hold it while talking about it, because what else am I going to hold? My own head like I'm talking about it? No, I should have it in my hands because then I can remember what I'm talking about. You have a volume wheel which you can turn, it turns freely, it is not an analogic one, and you can press it for mute. And we have a scroll OK pause wheel. This is basically used to interact with the GUI. The functions are so many and you can actually use it in so many ways that it is insane. You can use it as your main DAC. And that is the first thing I'm going to be emphasizing about it. The sound of using the Cocktail N25 as a USB DAC is so amazing. The DAC output is so clean, the background is so black and so crisp, that is the sound, that it is just outstanding used as a USB DAC. You don't really need another DAC, and that is a very strong point for it because most streamers cost $1,000 or 1,000 euros without having any DAC functions inside. They are just a digital to digital convert. Cocktail Audio decided to not go that route. They decided to make it a very high quality USB DAC, and I appreciate it because it makes our experience as music lovers so much more. The unit is not that heavy, but as you can see, it is quite wide. It is not very scratch prone because I did take this outside for the B-rolls and the photos in the full written review, and it is still perfect. It has cooling on both sides. You can see here it has mini slits through which it can cool off, which I also find pretty cool. I should do at least one B-roll where you can see the GUI turned on because it is so beautiful. The GUI looks so nice. Now, the app it has is a bit odd. It takes some getting used to. It has a steep learning curve, and that is something to take into account. The remote is also one of those older style remotes with a ton of buttons. I actually ended up ordering one by mistake from Samsung because I tested one of their TVs and I had some trouble with that TV. It was the N25. It was the 55 inches. That TV had a ton of trouble that not one reviewer bothered to talk about, and this is why I need reviews too. I cannot go in a shop to test it. They don't really have that one in a shop, so I decided to order it. And guess what? That TV had green trails following black objects. You heard me right. I don't even know how is that possible. And that TV also had a problem with color bending. I think some people will call that flicker, and it has very thin bands of color instead of having a solid block of color. And not one review spoke about that. Every single review spoke about its beautiful color, beautiful contrast, and it has those. But man, that TV was a headache to use, and it was a headache to return. The remote for the N25 is also one of those many button remotes. I actually decided to go and take the paperwork. This is the manual, very beautiful manual, very nice. And we have an entire bag of accessories. This is so nice. So what do we have here? We have an FM antenna because it can actually receive radio. It can also receive internet radio. We have an wireless USB adapter, which is cool because it can receive USB inputs too. You can use a bigger antenna if you want to, it will recognize it. We have a Bluetooth transmitter kit. When ordering it, you will receive it like this in the back. I don't know if it will be quite visible, but the optional plug is actually closed with 2 screws and a black metal bar. And you can actually put something in there. You just need to remove the screws because it is an antenna and they didn't want it breaking during transportation. This is a Bluetooth transmitter kit. The unit can actually send Bluetooth signal, not just receive LDAC, aptX HD, but send it. And I was going to get to that, but this is the only high-end Sreamer/DAC that actually properly supports Bluetooth LDAC and aptX HD. It is so exciting to review it. There is also the SMSL DO200, which I just reviewed. You should notice by the background of my videos that I just reviewed that one as well. But yeah, both of them can support full LDAC, and that is cool. The Bluetooth transmission kit actually includes an antenna, which is very heavy and very well made. This is a very strong antenna. It includes the tools necessary to install it and the Bluetooth part itself. Sending Bluetooth signal to speakers, to Bluetooth headphones. Yeah, you just need to install this and you have your entire multimedia setup done. We aren't done yet. This is a very large package. I'm at the 11-minute mark in my record. This is the DAB antenna. It has both a DAB and an FM antenna. This is the other Bluetooth receiver, Bluetooth sync antenna. We have batteries for the remote. I just dropped them. We have the power plug, which is a very generic power plug. It doesn't need power conditioners. This is the N25 remote. Can you see the number of buttons on this thing? This is one of those old school remotes with a ton of options, a ton of buttons, a ton of functions, and which can be quite complicated to get used to. I was just saying, you can send Bluetooth signal, you can receive Bluetooth signal, you can decode Bluetooth signal, you can send USB signal, you can receive USB signal. You can receive Ethernet so that you can decode apps like Tidal, Spotify. It can decode NQA, DSD, high resolution PCM signals. It can receive and send optical signal. It can receive and send coaxial signal. Is there a single usage scenario that you want to do and it can't do? It also has an analog output, which is beautiful in sound, and I will be making a full written review where I explain more things about it. And I will be saying this, comparing it to competition, and just because Mano MK2 Ultra is a competitor, the N25 just is so much better as a streamer. It has much more inputs, much more outputs, it has much more function, and it actually sounds better at the same time. So you can see why I would have a really easy time recommending the Cocktail N25. This sounds extremely dark in the background. You don't hear any noise from any of the inputs. It has a very deep and full bass, but it is not overbearing. It is very natural in the overall tuning. It has a very natural, clean, both wide and deep soundstage. It has a very holographic overall presentation with a ton of space between instruments, excellent instrument layering and instrument separation, and it has one of those amazingly detailed treble that is not very harsh or aggressive. Everything is just natural with the Cocktail N25. This is the world's most advanced streamer. Like, it is that. It just is that streamer. It is the streamer to get if you want the best in the entire world in terms of streaming. This is going to be it. I don't know anything that can do as much. I am using the Cyrus One Cast in my system to power my system. It is my main DAC / headphone amplifier / power amplifier. As a streamer, I would not recommend the Cyrus One Cast any more than I do recommend the Cocktail N25. As a streamer, I recommend this one more. I would take this and connect it to the Cyrus One Cast because this is a better streamer. The Cyrus One Cast is an excellent power amplifier, an excellent headphone amplifier, a great USB DAC. It is the unit I love from the bottom of my heart. Like, I really enjoy using. But it doesn't have a PTX HD Bluetooth. It doesn't have all of those streaming options. It doesn't have a good digital to digital converter, just digital decoding. This one has all of those things. I know that there are two types of guys: those who enjoy streaming and those who never tried it. And this is why some guys are so against using digital to digital converters, because they did not try it. But as many of my friends have pointed out, some DACs have better implemented certain inputs. For example, they just sound better on the optical input or on the coaxial input. Some of them sound better on the USB input, and my computer has a noisy USB output. Using this streamer actually improves the sound in every single one of my devices, including the Cyrus One Cast, including the SMS Audio 200, including the Mytek Brooklyn DAC Plus, absolutely everything. Even the AA DAC from Analog Audio sounds much better if I implement this as a digital to digital converter. Using it as a DAC actually results in a very clean, very natural type of sound with a ton of detail as a DAC, like using its own DAC output, its own analogic output. I would think that if you are looking for a streamer, for something that has a ton of function, there is absolutely nothing that I could recommend more right now. As I said, it beats the Mano MK2 Ultra from Magna Hi-Fi. Comes to the overall resolution of the sound, to the overall sound detail, to the overall control over the entire sound, and that one is just a digital to digital converter. You have Bluetooth transmission, Bluetooth reception, you have every single input you can want here for about the same price. So you can judge with your own pocket, but this one, the Cocktail N25, is and delivers what it actually promises, being the world's most advanced streamer, multimedia center, and all of that. If there is one final warning I should give you before ending this video, it is that it has a pretty steep learning curve of both its app, its remote, and its overall graphic user interface. You should take the time to actually learn how to use it. If you are doing something simple, like using it as a USB DAC from your computer to another amplifier, it is going to be sweet and just really convenient to use. If you are going to use it for something more complex, like streaming Tidal to another DAC, it is going to take a bit to understand how the interface works. But the improvement in sound is actually worth it. I hope that your time spent on Audiophile Heaven has been worth it. I hope you'll consider subscribing to Audiophile Heaven. So leave a like on this video. Don't forget you can donate if you want to help me out to make more content, faster, better content, more B-rolls, and just improve my overall quality. I'm really grateful to having every single one of you guys as my subscriber, and I hope I'm providing good content to you, and I hope that I'm being helpful to you. I hope we'll see each other really soon. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Bye bye.